Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker with me, Baldur, as the door goes sliding by. Right, so we need to go do the final fight, I guess. So what do we actually do from here? Let's go up this way and see what's up here.
No stopping now.
We can quite cover everything up here, I don't think. Take that from those guys.
To victory!
Ah, here we go. Let's do you. Where are you? Okay. Move back there.
You forced my hand.
Right, let's get some healing for you.
Victory is inevitable. Onwards.
Okay. Don't think we can go up that way. Right, so where can we go then? Maybe up here? Into this building? Doesn't look like there is a transition point though. But we'll keep going. And we'll see. There is. Okay, cool. This has final battle kind of vibes about it, so hopefully it is. So, haste, freedom of movement, and then all of the other buffs that we can right now, I think. So you are here. Good job. Right. You can do haste, right? No, you can do those.
Yes?
Can you do haste? Your freedom of movement, okay. You get haste going. Okay, I want you to do freedom of movement on people. 2, 3.
My skills are getting rusty.
Okay, then okay, perfect. Right, let's go. The Lantern King, your footsteps echo from the ceiling of the ravaged throne room. The sound attracts the attention of old Remus, slouching on the steps of the throne. He looks up, shakes his head slightly, if displeased, but keeps silent. Nothing betrays the mask of a deity in this hunched man.
Still hiding behind masks, eldest? Isn't it time you cast them away?
Yeah, well done, Remus.
Words. How little value we attach to them, and how much they truly mean. But I've grown tired of words and prophecies. I will no longer predict chaos and death. Instead, I will show them to you, myself.
Okay.
Oh yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
Right. Everyone kill this one.
Grant me strength.
Oh god. Right, you do that. Use that on him.
I need your breath.
Okay, everyone's moving forward. Let's move to here. Oh, Renee is in trouble. Okay. So move up a little. Do that. Then let's have you use that on Renee.
Wounded.
Oh god. Okay, gonna have to use one of these. Oh, she's down already. Right. Okay, she's back, so you come here. Need to be doing this. Okay, and then we'll do that when we have to, which is probably pretty soon. Okay, so he's like a monk. Okay. Where is Renee? Okay, you're fighting there. Okay. Let's get haste back up. Haste based around Valerie. Oh, how the hell did you just die? Okay. Now we've got to raise. Aid. Resurrection on her. Okay, good. Okay, next. Let's see what we have in terms of protection. On fire, let's try that. Okay.
To like my curses. Maybe you like my jokes.
No, we don't. Okay. You guys need to move up closer. Right, you're gonna have to do your mass heal based around Renee. Okay, good. Then use this because people are gonna need topping off in a second. Okay, you dudes need to move over here. Okay, he's got some kind of finger point death or whatever it's called, I guess. You can't bring her back. So then we have to see, do we have any more of those left. I don't think we do. I think we used the last one. Unless it was on... No, you didn't have one. Those cleansings always look like that's what it is, but it's not. Kind of need our... near a tank. Let's use some of these. Try and get some extra damage out of this. Okay, fireball based on you. Okay, fireballing again. Is he finally dead? No, apparently not. Okay. Right. Let's get more fireballs. That on her. You're gonna have to renew our haste. Haste based around you.
I won't give up.
Oh Jesus. She's got destroyed. I think we're screwed now. Where the hell did she go? Yeah, I think we're screwed. You do that to her.
I'm wounded.
Yes, you are. Yeah, down she goes. Everyone else is going to get absolutely pummeled. Yeah, this is a wipe. We're seeing one. Okay, so we have to try again. So obviously losing Valerie really made our party very squishy. But he seems to have an ability that just kills someone, which makes it very hard to work around keeping the party alive. I don't like things like that where they can just kind of arbitrarily choose to kill someone. Okay, so let's get in again, and then we're going to buff, and then we're going to see what we can do to actually try and keep Valerie alive this time. If Valerie stays alive, we win, I think. Oh, I forgot to...
Oh yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
Charge!
Okay. Right, well, I guess everyone just gets in. Okay, you're gonna have to get us sorted here. Haste. Base around you. Of course, Renee runs off. Why wouldn't she? Let's move you guys over here. Kill that one. you give us one of these. What's Narissa doing? Come on, faster. Right. That on her. Need to haste again. On Valerie. Jesus, stop going down so fucking early. Oh, now he's dead. Okay, well, we're screwed. I guess use that on yourself. And then on her. Then, yeah, we don't have any more raise spells. No more our resurrection, it's called in this, right? Yeah, no more resurrection spells, so it's pretty much death here. Yeah, I know, but everyone's gonna get killed. There he goes. Okay, so let's load that. Then let's just change it so that we can get through the story, I think. So let's go to story mode. That should make, well, it's definitely going to make things easier, but I would rather not have to keep making things easier. Story, there we go. So save that. And then let's get through. Yeah, that's kind of one of the disappointing things I've had with the game is that there are obviously, as I talked about before, you've got to do a min-max build on stuff, and then you've got to know what spells you use for what fight and stuff like that as well.
Oh yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
I shall end
So there's
this
like,
suffering.
you know, this is one of these games where there's a right way to play it, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay, so haste based on you. Okay, good. What's this? Shaken. Shaken character takes -2 penalty. Saving throw attack. Okay. Okay. That's not going to be very helpful. You do that. Actually, move there first. Then do it. Then let's get haste back up. Base around you. Yeah. Then we're gonna put slow on you if we can. Good. Now, let's get these fireballs out early this time. Okay. Fireball. You. Okay.
You don't seem to like my curses. Maybe I like myself better.
Then fireball. Okay, she needs help, so please. Okay, we'll come down here. Let's use a couple more fireballs. Okay, I'm going to save 2 for the next iteration. Electricity needs to come into place. Okay, then again, and then hopefully this is the last one.
It's the hour of hunting and chaos.
Okay, so they need to be fireballed. Okay, then you do that. Okay, now let's get freedom of movement going. Oh, let's start with so 1.
Dark flower, grant me strength.
Okay, good. Right, freedom of movement. 1. Then let's get you doing it as well. So 1. Oh shit. That's not a good place to be. Okay, let's get you the hell out of there then. Is that on him?
Can someone help me?
Oh shit. Just have base around hard then. Okay, good. Now, let's get this fireball working for us, shall we? Place on you. Good. Right, time for you to go down. Tavia needs some help, so you do that. Come on, faster. Okay, then you need to cast that. Basically work. Good. Let's move her away from him. I love the music, it's very epic. Okay, he's definitely trying to kill her. Okay, so that on her. That on her. Okay. Now what's gonna happen? Oh, I guess this is the final one. As soon as the Horned Hunter's body disappears in the fire, the destroyed throne room is flooded with light. The Lantern King, in his true blazing form, appears in the middle of the room. His furious mask is ringed by fire. The games have ended. Time freezes like resin, trapping you and the eldest in amber light, and this light grows brighter. The rays pass through you, piercing you, ruthlessly bearing your most intimate secrets, fears, and desires. Something inside you resonates with the light of the eldest. Your curse is like the splinter of an arrow that remains in the wound, a slow weapon crawling towards your heart. As soon as the rays touch it, it begins to heat up, then burns with intolerable pain.
Time for
The Lantern
masks is
King.
over.
Oh,
You risk challenging an eldest, and I accept the challenge. You will fight not a mere embodiment, but my true essence. This is my essence. I don't need magic or servile monsters to destroy you. Words are enough. Yes, words. I once told you, words spoken in the right time and place possess the power of the storm. You lightheartedly answer that you know what your power and essence are. The desire to help people whose grief touches you. I remember your answer. The world remembers it too. Your answer, your heart, your essence. And now, cursed queen, I'm taking this part of your soul, as I took away Nyris's ability to love. What I called your essence is yours no more.
I think we're gonna fail this. Oh, nice! Wow, good job, us. A wave of pain comes crashing down upon you, but recedes quickly. You cannot tell whether you were protected by your words or something more, the essence of your soul. But the attack of the
Let
eldest
us
is parried.
continue. We both win. But what do you want? A meager patch of land, a few thousand souls? My dominion is chaos and magic, madness and deceit. Your power is nothing compared to mine. And that is why you are helpless before me. You will take my every blow as a divine punishment, as something imminent.
Yet again, you have little time to answer, and this answer is the only thing that can protect you from the eldest blow. Okay, plus 30, plus 43. Okay, well, we're going to do that. Succeeded, great. There is a great power in knowledge. It wraps you in an invisible veil and protects you from the eldest blow. You feel his fury, but you know that it is not divine wrath, but the emotion of an ancient being, mighty, but not almighty.
Curious what you think of me, cursed queen. Do you see me as a villain or a simple joker? In truth, well, whatever you would conceive of the truth, being an eldest means being one of the many strings that hold the world in place. Being an eldest means being such a vast and self-sufficient value that one's equals become strangers and one's inferiors are entirely insignificant. I am an eldest. Laughter, guile, transformation, that's what I am. Being what I am, I will let you feel a modicum of my loneliness. I will take away your pillar of strength.
Okay, hopefully we can pass this. Oh, okay. Having lost all support, you face a deity alone. Silence hangs heavily over the ruined throne room. Okay. I won't allow such evil to happen, and being what I am, I will retrieve what's been taken from me. The blind light flashes away, frightened like a living creature. The blistering metal of the curse cools. It still hurts, but the pain is no longer unbearable. You stand before the eldest, as before a blazing living star, and he looks at you as if he's seeing you for the first time.
Good. You can play with words. Let us see if you can withstand the heat of my fire.
For a while, the Atlantic King remains silent. You feel in this silence not angry bewilderment, but endless, boundless astonishment.
Let's finish them quick.
Okay, so we're back. Champion in the games of words. Nice. Okay. It's a good buff to have. Now, let's see what's going to happen.
Strike with all your might.
Well, me sneezing apparently is the first thing that's going to happen. Right. Let's get some haste. This one, you good. Okay, now. This one. This one. Okay. If you've had the chance to see a star die, spots of cold, lifeless darkness cover the fiery form of the Lantern King, growing, devouring, and with a dull moan settling onto the ground in a cloud of cold black dust. But a moment later, right where the eldest crown lay burning, another shining image is born. It grows, glowing, turning into a familiar silhouette, wearing a crown.
Defeat. What a refreshing feeling. I don't remember sensing it for 1,000 millennia.
The Lantern King freezes, his light flickers strangely, and his masks begin to change with incredible speed. One breath, and you are looking upon a horrible grimace of wrath. Another breath, and it's replaced with painful astonishment. Another, and it's the mask of fatherly care.
What's next? How will you end this story? Listen, I know a good end. Elegant and refined. The hero defeats a deity in battle. Impressive, it grants the victor power and immortality. The hero enters the chambers of the deity to become his champion and herald. Eternal, powerful, equally glorified both in the first world and in Valeria. Her kingdom healed from its wounds and flourished under the rule of the immortal champion. A beautiful ending, isn't it? And this legend is yours for the asking.
No, I don't want that. Fuck off.
Trust the laughing lie. Don't do this. Not after everything you and I have endured because of him. I can give you immortality and power, though not as much as the Lantern Kings. Perhaps we won't be able to stand against the eldest, but accept my gift and my patronage. And together we will make him pay for what he's done.
Yeah, I like that.
Sad it is to hear you, Narissa. Thousands of years for nothing! You haven't learned a single lesson. Never learned to atone. But what do you say?
Okay, let's see. Are you sure I can't kill you? I think I'll try.
Did I tell you I don't like dying? Well, I don't. Perhaps we should stop this pointless exercise and speak seriously?
Ah, shit. Okay. I will not bow to you, eldest. Don't get your hopes up. Here's my offer. Lift the curse, return my kingdom to Glorian, and forget we exist. I'll forget that you exist. After you speak, silence falls deep as a chasm. Light pours from the eyes of the Lantern King's mask. Still the mask of paternal care, though you do not mistake this for what lies hidden behind it.
This performance has run its course. It would be unwise to continue. Besides, I have no love of dying, returning to life. My fellow eldest are very good at playing especially intricate pranks at that exact moment. You were cursed by my will. By my will, you are now free from the curse. May shackles be broken, fetters be loosened. What's been stolen will be returned. What's been divided will be made whole again. I say farewell, and release your kingdom to material plane. Go, be glad of your ordinary mortal life, and forget the gods of the first world. Now they no longer concern you.
Good, get lost, asshole. Flaming crown, cool.
Now that the eldest and other spiteful beings wouldn't be bothering us, the queen returned to her subjects and celebrated the victory and the end of the kingdom's miseries with great fanfare. Everything gradually returned to normal, including our exciting lives. Not always peaceful, but also not troubled by invasions from another world. And little by little, our heroes and the common folk began to forget the sorrows of the past. Sometimes, on clear spring nights, the queen saw dreams. In them, the nymph Nyrissa, fierce and wounded, battled the Jabberwock, died, and returned to life, again and again and again. Sadly, the numerous misfortunes that befell the queen took their toll on the stolen lands. Matters left to luck, and state problems left unattended meant the stolen lands would remain a lawless realm. It turns out you can't be both a great heroine and a successful ruler at the same time. Or the heroine of this story couldn't, at least. The feud between Brevois North and South, which had been smoldering for ages, never sparked the fires of civil war. Through great effort, our queen managed to bring both parties to the negotiating table. While Rostland didn't gain its independence, it did receive wide autonomy rights. Our relationships with both House Sertova and the Sword Lords are respectful, but they've become lukewarm. Because of us, neither side got everything they wanted. Taking advantage of the tension in his homeland, the restless, unlucky trader Lander Lebeda abandoned his domain again and set off to attempt another scam. Our kingdom, along with Brevois, actually proposed to celebrate the day he disappeared as a national holiday. But the initiative was shot down by the vigorous protests of House Lebeda. The Tiger Lords never fully recovered from the damage Armont did to the tribe. Lacking a strong leader and torn by infighting, the barbarians sank into a short but fierce internal war. Their lands were quickly appropriated by neighboring tribes, and the Tiger Lords were scattered across Numeria and the River Kingdoms, little more than pitiful remnants of a once great tribe.
That's a bit sad there.
Pitax never regained its former stature. In their fight for power, both bandits and the relatively honest merchants lost all their strength, scaring away both customers and suppliers. Trade routes began moving through other cities. Pitax fell into decline, and the citizens quickly forgot all of Iravetti's atrocities, remembering his rule instead as a golden age for the region. Governor Liacenza remembers what the queen did for him and serves her truthfully and loyally. There was no place for art in the new Pitax. Students and teachers from the academy were scattered to the wind. Some found a place in neighboring courts, while others set off to earn some coin in roadside taverns. A third group, harboring anger and resentment toward the queen, began weaving revolutionary plots. The ruins of the Academy of the Arts still stand in the middle of the city, overrun with ivy, empty and unwanted. Trolls and kobolds, two of the most savage native peoples living in the Gnarl Marches, were completely exterminated in the region. The forest paths became much safer, and the peasants' cattle have stopped going missing. After enduring so many storms and troubles, Varnhold eventually turned into a real city. Daring settlers decided to conquer the vast, wild expanses of Dunsword, and despite all odds, they succeeded. The modest colony that almost vanished at the hands of an ancient lich turned everything around to become a thriving city with lively river trading.
Cool.
Agay, the Spriggan leader, learned a valuable lesson after surviving his meeting with the Queen and even regaining his tribe's home. Don't try to occupy seemingly empty settlements anymore. Instead, the Spriggans settled across Dunsword's wild borderlands and proclaimed it as their domain. Keeping the peace in a situation like that seems like the stuff of dreams, as evidenced by the occasional lost patrols and stolen cattle. Mites, led by warrior Queen Bada'a, keep causing trouble in the vicinity of the old sycamore. They scare the fishers, hold centipede races, and drag anything they find lying about to their caves. Clothes left out to dry, dog kennels, even anvils. When the Queen visits them, they seem to calm down. For about a day, sometimes even 2. Oleg's trading post continues to thrive, attracting even more travelers. Much to its owner's displeasure, a small town is springing up around it. Despite Oleg's grumbling, he and his wife are well regarded by everyone, and Svetlana was even elected town chief. Making sure her sister was safe, the former bandit Kressel traveled south. Her trail went cold somewhere in Absalom's docks. They say she changed her name again and now serves on a trade ship, hiding from old acquaintances.
Cool.
Keston Gares took a post as chief of the kingdom's guard. The former heir to a noble family never returned to Brevoy, severing all ties to his kin. However, a few years after the victory over the First World, a girl arrived from Brevoy and soon married Keston. They say Keston started smiling a lot more after that.
Nice.
Jod remained loyal to the Queen to the end of his days, healing the sick and generously sharing his austere wisdom with anyone who wished to hear it, and some who didn't. Having fulfilled his duty to the ruler, Erastil's priest peacefully departed this world, surrounded by friends and disciples. Tasana, Lamashtu's priestess, didn't remain in the Queen's service for long. One night, she just disappeared from the castle and set off for the kingdom's borders, preaching to anyone who would listen and granting the needy the blessing of the Mother of Monsters. Having participated in Lamashtu's ritual, Owlcat gave birth to a strong and healthy baby. Sadly, the child grew into an unruly and violent adolescent. Having named a peer at just 10 years of age, the boy escaped to the Gnarl Marches, fleeing the rage of a mob that tore his mother to pieces instead. No one knows what happened to the lad, but legends of Lamashtu's child, who sometimes kills lost travelers and sometimes leads them to safety, are passed on by word of mouth throughout the area. The lizard folk of the Longtail tribe returned to live on the shores of Candlemere, but they couldn't return to their ancient way of life. Living alongside people, the lizard folk adopted their behaviors, habits, and even religion. More and more of the Longtail tribe pray not to the spirits of their ancestors, but to Erastil or Gorum. They even began to forget their original language. I hope someone writes down their songs and legends before they all sink into oblivion.
Yeah, well, if someone didn't get killed, maybe they could do that.
The goblins who put so much effort into preserving the Queen's lands obviously felt that gave them the right to do whatever they wanted in the kingdom. Travelers are careful to move in groups when they can, and any peasants who spot at least one particularly toothy stranger immediately raise the alarm. For if you see one goblin, there is likely a whole gang.
True.
Evindra was glad to see the Lantern King's plans turn to dust. She spent some time helping restore the kingdom after the calamity, then returned home to the First World. They say the rebellious spirit of her cousin Nyrissa awoke within her as well. Evindra is said to recount our story to the Fae, encouraging them to question the power and might of the eldest.
Nice.
After the victory, the storyteller abandoned his affairs and began spending a lot of time alone in contemplation. He eventually bid farewell to the queen and left her lands. But I suspect the inhabitants of Golarion haven't heard the last of this mysterious traveler, for his own story is hardly finished. We never saw Amiri again. Perhaps she got lost somewhere in the First World. Or maybe she found some other way back. Who knows? I doubt that stubborn barbarian would just vanish without a trace. As for the Six Bears, they returned to the mountains, out to the farthest, wildest backwoods they could find, and lived there ruled by their primal laws.
That's sad. Like, I really liked Amiri as a character.
Valerie stayed to serve the queen, but not for long. She soon laid down her weapon to start her own family. Valerie married a simple farmer and bore him 2 beautiful children, then settled away from the capital, where she was soon forgotten.
That sounds like laying the groundwork for maybe one of her kids or one of her descendants to be in a future game, I think.
Harren became famous, respected by dwarves throughout our kingdom as well as our neighbors, even as far as the 5 Kings Mountains. He's often been asked to help out or teach others, and he's never denied anyone, despite his grumbling. Some people even listen to his preaching. Lucky for us, there's a lot less howling about the end of the world now, and more wise words of moderation and humility. Not all of his disciples turned to Grotus, but everyone took away something useful from his teachings.
Yeah, but he's still Moni, right?
Jaethal spent some time at the Queen's court, but she then left to do whatever it was her new goddess required. She must have become a great inquisitor for Pharasma, as no one would know the ways of the undead and Urgathoa's cultists, as well as a former undead cultist would. She was also seen in the company of Salim Godafar. It's unlikely the two became friends, being so different from one another, but it's a known fact that they worked together.
Cool.
Octavia didn't stay still for very long. Soon, she and Reg went to Numeria and started a huge slave rebellion there. They didn't manage to destroy the Technic League, but to this day, slaves speak their names with admiration, and slavers with terror. Over the course of their journey, the two grew as close as ever, leaving their quarrels and resentments behind. After returning from Numeria, Octavia settled in her mother's house and became the Queen's advisor and loyal companion.
Nice.
Rigongar left for Numeria with Octavia to start a slave rebellion. Over the journey, he really matured and learned to understand others, as well as how to control his anger. After he returned, he took a position in the Queen's court. Being both formidable and charming, he inspired fear in the hearts of some and lust in others. There are even some rumors that he almost talked Octavia into marrying him, and possibly even continuing the Della Fiorni line.
Wow.
Tristan stayed in the Stolen Lands. Endowed with a special blessing of Sarenrae, the priest became known as a great healer and went on to perform many more miracles. I'd say the Movonic Diva deserves the right to rejoin Sarenrae's divine army. I hope the goddess will think the same when Tristan's hour comes and his soul is up for a new judgment.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of bad shit to make up for.
After the war ended, Ekin hung his bow on the wall and traded the path of the ranger in for the craft of the carpenter. It may not be the most heroic ending to a tragic story like his, but as Torag is my witness, Ekin's happy with it, as is Alina, who became his wife and is bearing his child. Any baby born into this family will be pretty lucky, since the Queen herself still visits her old friend and will likely become the child's patron.
Cool.
Jubilost returned to the life of a traveling explorer, frequently visiting his favorite kingdom. He said so himself. His famous work studying the First World all opened with a dedication to his longtime companion, the Queen. Sometimes, during Jubilost's performances, all kinds of chaos would break loose. Viewers turned into unicorns, or would be teleported to the top of a cliff. Later, Jubilost would be seen arguing fiercely with a pretty gnome named Nerd. The arguments looked very sweet and intimate. As for Knock Knock, apologies, I mean Hero Knock Knock, he continued his questionably heroic efforts in the Stolen Lands. Despite whatever mess he fell into, no matter the danger he leapt into, he always seemed to scrape through just a little better off than before. Like true heroes, he simply never gave up, struggling on and meeting the challenge of each new day with a spirit that no mishap or misfortune could ever quell. The slightly inaccurate statue of him and the Queen still stands in the square to this day, the two figures side by side. I've always felt that, while the heights may be a bit off, let's say it accurately reflects the size and spirit of the goblin hero who'd been nurtured by the teachings of his queen.
Yeah, Knock Knock was one of my favorite of the companions. Just the fact that he was evil didn't kind of made it hard to keep him in the party, and then also he didn't really have a role the way the party was built.
Despite all the woes that befell the country, our queen remains a strong leader. Many noble houses from neighboring lands wouldn't hesitate to be related to her, and they regularly send a variety of marriage proposals.
Interesting.
As for myself, the author of this book, Lindsay, who never chose a pretty nickname, I'm still here, inside my creation within the Capitol Library. I live just like I always dreamed, surrounded by people and books, and not a day goes by without someone turning my pages. My story inspired many others to take up the quill. My readers have written many fierce books, articles, and pamphlets, flinging truth in the faces of tyrants. What more could I dream of? I hope, oh honored reader, that this story offered you some daring ideas, or at least some entertainment. In any case, it's time to set the final period.
Yeah, I really miss Lindsay, and I really do wish like that she was with us through the final battle and stuff. I know that they had the story where she becomes the book, but still, she was one of the main. Herself and Amiri were two of the main pieces of the way my party was built, and then when they were taken away, I kind of felt very lost in the game, I have to say. But I can see from a narrative point of view why both happened. But let's keep going. The story ends. There we go. Win the game. I don't really feel like I won it though, because I had to reduce it down to like story level. But still, had a lot of fun with the game. And my thoughts overall on the game, the world I thought was really well built. Voice acting excellent, music excellent. The story itself excellent too. The combat side of things, I didn't. You can probably tell from watching, I didn't enjoy as much as everything else, because the kind of hectic nature of it, and then the just kind of, it felt very overwhelming. And then the fact that I had to change the difficulty setting towards the end as well, I didn't like that either. And then I guess what comes into that then is the fact that it feels like there are only certain builds that are suitable in the game, in terms of you really do have to build OP characters to be able to cope with it. And I really would have liked to have a turn-based system, but overall the game was absolutely excellent, and I really enjoyed my time with it. And I'm sad that the story's ending, but I'm glad that Owlcat Games are producing a new game based in the same world as this one, so I'm really looking forward to playing that, and I hope you enjoyed the journey together with me, and in this kind of uncertain time I hope that you're staying safe and those that you love are safe too. And that's pretty much it for me for this series. I hope you go and check out some of my other series as well if you enjoyed this, and hope to see you on one of those other videos. Goodbye. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.